surprise office birthday party that he never wanted has landed a Kentucky man a big payday. Kevin Burling says he told his bosses at Gravity Diagnostics that he associated his birthday with bad memories and feared that a big office party could trigger a panic attack. That man now claims the company ignored his request, and as a result, Burling says he was crippled by anxiety and panic attacks after getting upset with his bosses during a meeting after this party. Burling says he was fired. Took him to court. Late last week, a jury awarded him $450,000. The company plans to appeal, and that's where we pick up tonight's Is a Legal discussion with criminal defense attorneys David Bruno, happy birthday, and Brian Claypool. Great to have you guys with us.
Great to be back, Shannon.
Okay, so this is his complaint. He says the employer knew of his anxiety disorder, but held the birthday party anyway. It says they knew that being the center of attention was a great source of stress for the plaintiff. He informed the office manager of his anxiety disorder and respectfully asked the defendant not arrange a birthday celebration. But still, a few days later on August 7th, and without regard for plaintiff's disability, the complaint says a lunchtime celebration was arranged for plaintiff in the lunchroom. And David, he says he had a panic attack. Then he was called into a meeting to discuss it with the bosses, had another panic attack, and then he says he got fired.
Yeah, sure. And it was a jury verdict, and it was 12 jurors unanimously, Shannon. So let's just start there. What the jury found was that he had a disability of anxiety, that he was capable of completing his job, and that he was fired because of it. Right? So you just laid out the facts, and essentially what the jury of 12 found unanimously is that all of those facts were proven by the plaintiff. And that's how we get to this verdict. It's back pay, it's loss of wages, and it's pain and suffering. $300,000 of pain and suffering, 12 jurors unanimously found.
Okay, somewhere something is getting lost in translation, because in a Washington Post report on this, they talk about it. They say they're going to appeal. The company's going to appeal this decision. It's an improper verdict. Judge should have ruled for the company before it went to trial. They say Burling, the plaintiff in this case, never disclosed that he had anxiety or suffered from panic attacks. Moreover, he wasn't fired over either of those things, the spokesperson says, but because of how he behaved after the ill-fated birthday celebration. So, you know, Brian, they say that he never told them, but apparently the jury didn't believe that.
Yeah, Shannon, I hate to be the birthday party pooper, but beneath all those party things out in the air and all the blowing out of candles and all the anxiety is a real interesting legal issue for your viewers, and that is whether anxiety amounts to what's called a disability under the American Disability Act. And my interpretation of the law is, and I think that there will be an appeal, is it has to be severe anxiety to a point where you can't carry out your job duties. And I think that's what Gravity, the employer, is really talking about. They're going to appeal this, and I personally don't think that this should have gone to a jury. A judge should have decided before the trial by what's called a summary judgment and determined that basic anxiety does not amount to a disability. That's a legal determination, and the case should have been thrown out and not gotten to the jury. Sorry about that.
Okay, so this is what a local report from WKRC says there, that managers told him to leave for the weekend after this meeting, which followed the birthday party, and subsequently fired him, telling him they were worried about him being angry and possibly becoming violent. So, David, what do employers do with this if they're seeing some reaction? Because after bad things happen in the workplace, a lot of times people are saying, weren't there signs? We were worried. Nobody wanted to say anything. This puts employers in a weird place. Quick comment from you.
Yeah, sure. For employers, look, consult with labor counsel first and foremost, and then documentation. That is the key for employers when they have these types of issues, is to have documentation, consult with lawyers before making drastic decisions. And in this case, it's alleged that the managers brought him in the following day, confronted him about how he reacted, and then it led to a second panic attack. Right? So I would figure that those facts were in dispute at the trial, and that's why I highlight the jury unanimous decision.
Okay, 10 seconds. Brian, final word to you.
Yeah, Shannon, this is a bad result because everybody's got stress in their job. There's going to be a floodgate of lawsuits now if basic anxiety becomes a disability under ADA.
All right, gentlemen, we will follow this appeal. David and Brian, thank you both very much.
Always a pleasure, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
All right, and let us know on
happy
Twitter.
Birthday, David.
Yeah, and happy birthday. We didn't throw a surprise party for David, but we wanted to ask first.
That would be
Good to see you
okay,
guys.
Shannon. No
Okay.
problem here.
We have
You're
permission.
fired.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.